Good morning, or if you're watching later, good afternoon, good time of day. Glad y'all are here. Grace Point, welcome. Come on, stand with us. Today is Affirming Sunday. Can I hear it for Affirming Sunday? Yeah. Let's everybody say gay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can say it. We're glad you're here. And Affirming Sunday is not just one Sunday for us. It is the way that we do church. It's the way that we do community. Pride isn't 1 month. We love, affirm, celebrate you all year long. We're so glad you're with us. Let's sing together this song. Crowded Table, y'all know it? Y'all love it? You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be your mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be your street light, showing you the way home. You can hold my hand when you need to let go. Oh, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us stay on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day's done. Y'all sound great. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seeds, plant a little happiness, and let the roots run deep. If it's love that we give, then it's love that we reap. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seeds. Come on, y'all sing it. Oh, I want a house with stake on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. The door is always open, your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken and everyone belongs. Yeah, everyone belongs. Let's hear it. I want a house with a grounding table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us stay on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done, and bring us back together when the day is done. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah. Y'all sound awesome. You look awesome. Again, we are so glad that you're here. Now, what we would love for you to do right now, there's so many people here today. I know that there are some new faces in the room, so why don't we find somebody that we haven't talked to before, have a conversation, meet and greet. That's what we love to do here. Build community. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hello. Hey. Hey, welcome to Grace Point, all you people. Okay, we're gonna try again. Everyone get ready. Online people get ready as well. Okay. I'm gonna say welcome to Grace Point, and you're gonna be really excited. Ready, set, welcome to Grace Point. Yeah, that was really great. So I'm Tiffany. I'm our director of our kids, youth, college. I do stuff. My pronouns are she, they. And so at this time, adults, parents, guardians, caretakers, we're gonna have our kids moment. So if you're sitting in the middle of the aisle, you have lovely cushions under your seats. Just put them in the middle. And if you are a kid, you can do 3rd grade and under, or anyone who wants to, come grab a cushion and come sit down. Adults, you can bring your child if you need to. You can come this way, you can go that way. Do we have a handheld mic to ask them? This one? Nope. Keep scooting. Thank you. Dun, dun. We have a lot of kids. If you are an adult standing and when kids get up and move, you can take those seats because they're not going back to those. Whew. Y'all, can we just take a moment to see all of our awesome kids? This is amazing. Okay, for adults who sit in the aisles, also you get to participate, which means when a kid is going to talk, I will hand you a mic and you hold the mic and let them talk into it, okay? Cool, so y'all ready? If you're online, this is time for Kids Ministry Moment, so you can come scoot your kid closer. This is for them too. So y'all ready? Okay, so I have a question. It's a very important question. I'm gonna give the mic to Eli. Hold it. Okay, what does the word imagination mean? You gotta raise your hand. Okay, speak loud into it.
Creative.
Creative. Yes. Do you have something else?
Not real.
Not real, that's good, okay.
Dreaming.
Dreaming. Any other answers? What does imagination mean? Oh, we have one back there. Pass the mic.
Playing.
Playing, that's really good. Also, good job, adults, passing the mic around. Okay, so raise your hand if you have ever had a dream before, like maybe asleep. You've had dreams before? You had a dream about what, Titus? Bigfoot? I think a lot of people have probably had that dream before. Okay, so if something is imaginary, does that mean it's real? Your tooth just fell out? Okay, we have a moment. Your dad is coming. He's right there. Jackson, just, there you go. That is the greatest moment ever. If anyone else's tooth falls out, just hold on to it. Okay, so imagination means it's not real, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you another word. It's a big word. What does the word wonder mean? What do you think? Right there.
When you're wondering, what is.
Yeah, when you're wondering what is. That's a good answer. Does anyone else have an answer? Oh, this is a hard word. Titus has an answer. Will you talk into the mic?
Wonder means what you are wondering if something's big that's in the world.
Yeah, wonder is when you're wondering if something big is in the world. So here's what wonder is, okay? Wonder, okay, are you listening? Wonder is when we have imagination that something, right? It's not in front of us, it's pretend. Wonder is how do we make the thing that's in our head come to life in the world. It's like amazement, it's beautiful. It's like the thing when you see a sunset and you're like, whoa. Have you ever had that before where you saw something and you're just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen? Do you have something, Jude?
No, I'm just seeing something.
You've just seen something beautiful before? I like that. So today, we're gonna talk about the creation myth. Now, all it is how people came to exist. Because we believe that something really big, God, created all of us and made us all really amazing and unique and different, and the trees and the animals and the plants and the water and the sky and all of the pieces. But the questions we have for you are, how do you think God did that? You don't have to answer right now. We're going to answer in just a second, okay? So if you're a kids ministry volunteer, if you'll get with Audrey, and Audrey's going to unlock the door. So kids ministry volunteers go with Audrey. And so y'all focus on me. So today, your job is to ask a lot of questions, and all your leaders are going to write them down, because how we discover something is by asking a lot of questions. Can you do that? Yes. Okay, you're going to take your cushion with you, okay, and you're going to walk towards me and go this way. Y'all ready? Stand up. Woo! And go that way. Hey, if you are 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, you can get in line behind them. Your snacks are in your room. Titus, keep going this way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, can we have the microphone back? My bad. Thank you all. Woo! Give it up for our kids' ministry.
Hello. Okay, so some seats just open up, but if everyone could shift, if you have an extra space that's right next to you, then we can get some more people in. Thank you. My name is Emily Wire, and I am the Director of Operations and Communications here at Grace Point. First, I just wanted to let you know that this QR code that is up here and on your tables, that is going to give you a link tree of everything that you need to know. There are some things that I won't be able to talk about today, but if you want to know what's going on, you should go there. You should tap the Connect Card button, and that's going to be how you get plugged in. It's where you sign up for the newsletter, which is going to give you everything each week that's important and that's going on here. Don't forget that if you want to volunteer for Project Transformation, we're doing summer reading starting 2 weeks from tomorrow. That's June 19th through 22nd. Email Tiffany at gracepoint.net if you're interested in getting involved with that. We had a wonderful time at Franklin Pride yesterday. We gave out a lot of good stuff, and I have been told that there were over 10,000 people because there's no publicity like protest, right? Switching gears to Nashville Pride, which will be at the end of this month. Don't forget to sign up if you want to march with us. Anyone is welcome to be part of our community, even if they've never been to Grace Point before. You can also sign up to work the booth. That's all on Sign Up Genius, and that's on the QR code. I've added 2 slots to every time, so that way we have enough people, the booth is gonna feel full, and it's gonna be really fun. We also have 7 or 8 styles of shirt, including tank tops this year, and we're going to have those shipped directly to your house. So don't forget, if you do want a shirt for Pride, make sure that you order it in time for it to get here by the end of the month. Okay. Thank you, Lee. Finally, Common Ground is our group for 30, 40-somethings, and that's going to meet right after this service at the Lipstick Lounge for brunch, so you should join them. Grace Point's goal is to create a safe, affirming, and transformative community. To those who already financially support us, thank you so much. You can text 84321, any dollar amount. You can go to gracepoint.net/give, scan the QR code, or just Venmo us at GracePointTN. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Emily. Did everybody see the shirts that we have for sale? I actually need to order some. Logan, help me remember to order our shirts for Pride. But the front of it says, God is with you, God is for you, God is on your side. And that's what we love to communicate here at Grace Point. It's a song that we've written. It's a Grace Point original. We're going to sing it today. Will y'all stand with us? We're going to change some lyrics in the bridge and say, God is with you, God is for you, God is on your side. But let's sing it all together. Maker of eternity, right here and now. Creator of all that we see, with us somehow. I cannot explain such mysteries. Who could ever know what this all means? God of the universe is all around. Y'all come on, sing it with us. God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Let all who will hear join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything is gonna be alright. God is on our side. Yeah. Giver of every breath, breathing in us. The heartbeat of life itself, waking us up. I cannot explain such mysteries. Who could ever know what this all means? The visible image of God is our love. God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Let all who will hear join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything is gonna be alright. God is on our side. Now here's what I want you to do. We've got the lyrics, God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. But when we get to it, we're gonna change them and say, God is with you, God is with me, God is on our side. Does that sound good? Let's sing it. God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side, God is on our side. Same thing. God is with us, God is for us, oh yeah. God is on our side. God is with you, God is with you, God is with me, yeah, that's right. God is on our side, oh, God is with you, yeah. God is with me, God is on. Let's sing that again. God is with you, God is with me, God is with you, oh, God is with me, God is on our side. One more time. God is with you, God is with you, God is with me, God is on our side. God is with us, God is for us, God is on our side. Let all who will hear join the chorus. God is on our side. Everything's gonna be alright. God is on our side. Oh, God is on our side. Yeah, God is on our side. Yeah, amen. That's good. Y'all sound awesome. You look great. Y'all can be seated. Thank you.
This seat somewhere. So if you're a student, we're staying in here. If you need a color, there are coloring sheets. You can find a page. But all middle school and high school students are staying in this room for today. Yeah. Y'all ready? Okay, we're gonna try this one time, which means you're gonna be really excited. Online community, welcome to Grace Point. Online community, we are so glad that you're joining us today, whether you're watching this live. Don't forget the chat is there. Talk to people, engage. We want, one, you're part of this community. Doesn't matter where you're at or when you joined us, you're part of Grace Point. If you're watching this in the future and it's not live, you're still part of Grace Point. Like, that doesn't change if it was live or not. And for those of you in this room, I am so glad you're here. Very genuinely, so excited that you chose to show up today. I feel supported in that. I'm Tiffany, she, they. I'm our director of our kids and our youth, and I help with our college and some justice things and various things of churchy faith community life. So I'm really glad that you're here. So I'm gonna give you some things so you know what's gonna happen today. First, today is a really important, special day. Today is Affirming Sunday. Woo! Also, fun fact, I have 18 years in youth ministry, so if you're like, what? Why are we cheering? That's why. You are just grown youth, and some of you are youth. Today is Affirming Sunday. So what Affirming Sunday is the first Sunday of Pride, which that is this month. You can also cheer for Pride. Woo! Also, I'll let you know that's the last time I'm going to invite you to cheer unless you just want to on your own. So the introverts, you can breathe. It'll be okay. Affirming Sunday is this nationwide movement that also has some international people joining us. That essentially is, like when you go to a website and you're like, find the gay churches or the queer churches or affirming churches. It's a group of people who run those websites who are like, hey, we need to do more than just be a database. We need to be a celebration moment for all the affirming churches to come together, because we believe everyone deserves a space to not just be tolerated, but to be affirmed and loved. And so we decided this Sunday is it. And so it's not just us, but it is a bigger movement of people showing up in church, and churches saying, guess what? We love you. We've always loved you. And you are not just tolerated here, but you are affirmed fully as you are. So that is what today is. And so if no one has ever told you before, you are loved. And you have always been loved. You are deeply loved as you are. It is not you have to put a certain piece of yourself to the side. You belong. We have always belonged. So part of my faith journey also is being a part of the queer community in spaces where I was invited to speak, but not fully be in leadership. And I will tell you here at Grace Point, whether that's online or in person, that is not an issue at all. It is not just a space where on this Sunday, we put all the queer people in front with our token straight person, which is Amanda, by the way. We have a lot of allies in the space. So it is not just a one-time moment where we're like, hey, we should put gay people in front. That is not how this works. And so if there's questions about what Grace Point believes, we believe that every person is invited into all the spaces, including leadership, which is really cool. And so we celebrate that. And so the other thing I'm going to give you is that, when we come to church, there's a lot of expectations of what that is and what that means, and even if you want to call it church or not. And here's what I'm going to tell you for today. You are invited to sit and to be and just be here. There's no expectation. If you are a person that this is your first time, whether it's in person or online, you are beloved and you have always belonged, and we claim you. You can claim us if you want. But you are loved and welcomed. If you're a person who's been here through the whole journey of Grace Point or anything in between, you are just as loved as you were before you got here. There's no scale on love or any type of things like that. You belong. And so from a pastoral leadership space, I'm telling you, for my position, you have always been okay. You have always been loved, and you're actually way more than okay. You are absolutely, absolutely loved and created in the image of God and love. And so, point blank, you're enough, and I'm glad you're here. So, the other thing I'm going to tell you is, guess what? This is not a Bible study. We're going to talk about some things. I'm going to invite you to question in your head. If you want to talk out loud, you can. That's fine. But today we're talking about wonder. We're talking about imagination. We're talking about questions. And in this space, that also means I don't have answers for you. I have some answers, and they may be answers for you, but they are not answers for everyone in every journey of their faith or every season of their life. And it's okay for you to not have answers. And that's the space we're going in today, okay? So if we're going to get started with wonder, we're going to define imagination first, okay? So on your screen, we have a definition for imagination. Imagination is the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. It's exactly what the kids said. The things in your head that are not real, not in front of you, okay? It's this idea of forming new ideas, which is really important. Imagination is not just holding on to concepts or things people have told you in your head and letting it roll around. Imagination is action. Imagination invites us into something new. And then when we shift to wonder, and this is where we're going to land, hopefully, wonder, a feeling of surprise, mingled with admiration caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. Wonder is not just another word for imagination. Wonder is this space where we get to be surprised by something beautiful, something awe-inspiring, anything like that. The other part of wonder is a lot of what our kids was talking about, which is, I wonder if. So it's almost this space of doubt, but not doubt in the really negative place that we tend to find ourselves, like I'm doubting the world or if God exists or what. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about this space where could it be better? I wonder if. Those are hopeful phrases. And so for you, whatever you come into here with or you join us online with, who you are, your theology, if you call it theology, your beliefs, your understanding, whatever it is, all of it is welcome. And it is welcome because of wonder and imagination and what we're going to talk about in a moment. Does that make sense? Is everyone okay? Like, you may not have answers as you leave here, and if you really, really need answers to think, we can talk. But I have no desire to give you answers. My desire today is to invite you on our faith journey and to figure out what that looks like. So, moving on from wonder, I'm going to let you know a little bit of fun church history stuff. Ready? It's actually not fun. If you've ever worked in a church, one of the things that always happens when we're doing spiritual formation and discipleship and stuff, there's always this graphic that is a mountain. You start at the bottom of the mountain, and there's always like a little phrase that goes with it. It's like, at the bottom of the mountain, you get your gear, and you like put on your backpack. And then as you journey through your faith, you go up the mountain, and then you might get to a thing that they call like base camp or something. If you've ever like climbed a mountain, you don't just go to the top. And so at base camp, that may be where you learn the Bible. And it may be where you learn how to lead other people, or you learn more stuff. And then you keep going and eventually get to the top of the mountain. And here's my issue with this image. When you get to the top of the mountain, there is never an image of how to come off the mountain, and they don't ever actually talk about that ever. It is just you go up this one triangle-shaped mountain, because all mountains are that shape, and then you eventually magically end up at the bottom. And normally it's an arrow that goes from the top down to the bottom, and that arrow that doesn't really exist in life is like when you choose to take all the things you did and you learned and you took with you on this journey, and you go back to the bottom of the mountain and you take people on their journey up and down the mountain. I think that is silly. Also, that's exhausting. So in my head, when I think about faith formation and our spiritual journeys, I think of it as like this really, I'm about to be kind of dorky, this big map. And it's this map where if you follow any type of like wonder or fiction where it's got all these different creatures and all these different worlds, there's always this map where like the elves live over here and giants are over here and some creature that someone made up that they thought was cool lived over here, but they're all on the same map. But where the elves live look very specifically for the elves. Does that make sense? And then the giants is obviously for the giants. I think spirituality is like that. It's a landing space where you get to roam where you need to based off of what you bring to it. It's also a space where you can go explore something else. And you don't have to stay there. There's no expectation to stay in one space. I think when we stay in one space, we stifle who we are and who God can be in the world. When we feel like we have to have answers, we would literally start putting God and mystery back into a box that almost every single one of us in this space and online have been trying to break out of. Here's the thing we cannot do in progressive space. We cannot put God into just a bigger box. Like, that cannot happen. And so what do we do with this as we come in here? It means we may not have all the same theology. It means we may not have the same understanding of who God is or if there is a God or heaven or hell or what to do with the Bible or all of these things. And that's not bad. I think it's really beautiful. I think it invites us into this space where we get to actually be a part of the journey. If you come into this space and you're not sure there is a God, you are just as loved as those people who are very confident of their feelings with God and can act on it. One is not better than the other. Because if faith is truly a journey, it is a journey. And it's a journey that you get to take, not one I get to dictate. It is a journey that you get to explore, not one where I tell you this is how you have to do it. But I do think it is a journey that we take with each other. And to me, that is what all of this is about. And so when we ask kids, if you've ever worked with kids, they ask a lot of questions. So my question, you can answer out loud if you want to, or online in the chat. I want you to try to put an answer to this. How many questions a day, this has been researched, do children ask? And we're going to say children like K through 12, which means high schoolers also. How many questions a day do you think they ask? Too many? That is the correct answer. 42? How many did you all say? 150. We have a 200. This is almost like an auction, but it's not. Any other answers? Okay. So if you were in the first service, I gave you a number. It was an estimated number. I just looked it up to confirm. It is an average of 350 questions a day. If all the ones who have children are like, yeah, mine may be on that top end. Remember, that's the average. That means there are children who ask way more questions than that, okay? So here's the thing. When kids ask questions, they ask questions for a few reasons. One, they are exploring a new space, time in life that they may have never experienced before. When they go to it and experience it, they're asking questions about what is happening. They've never been in that moment. And so it's obvious, like, cool, we've never done this. And then they also ask questions because they've been there before and now it's different. And they're reoriented. And then sometimes they ask questions because they ask questions and they want to know. And they have ideas and imagination. And what I love about kids' questions, even all the way up, and I love about our questions too, is it's this innocence of trying to figure out something. There's not always the desire to seek a defined answer. Sometimes it's if you notice in what they were talking, it's a lot of, I wonder if. That is a lot of the spaces that they learn. I can ask a group of kids, all the way up to high school, even into college, if you could have, this is my favorite question in the world, if you could have any animal as a mode of transportation, real or mythical, what would it be? And kids have answers immediately. Middle school and high school, they have ideas because they want to know how weird they can go with the answer, right? And then when you ask adults, normally this is what y'all give me. Something that can fly, and it's something very basic, and something that's fast on the land. But here's the follow-up question. If you give me a tiger, I'm going to ask you, how are you going to ride that tiger? Does it have a harness? Did you shrink it? Did it get bigger? Does it I have so many more questions. The beautiful thing, and that's very honest, that is, if you know me, that is a very real thing. So just be careful if you want to be friends. The really cool thing about this, though, is when kids are talking, and you know this, you don't have to really enjoy being around kids to understand that they are so creative. So think back to your childhood, even if that was just a couple years ago. What were the things that you were dreaming about? Who did you want to be when you grew up? What was the world like? What were the crazy big questions you were asking? And a lot of those questions aren't the deep, life-changing ones of how do we fix poverty? They're also asking those questions. And so what can we learn from our kids when it comes to imagination and wonder? In the scripture in Mark, there's this moment where Jesus is talking to people, and in context, when we know Jesus is talking to a crowd, we're actually only counting the dudes. That's normally it. But there's other people. And you'll notice that very rarely in most translations will they ever include the children. Children weren't people. They were more property. They were more like a family unit, head of the house type structure. So if you counted the dad, you counted the rest of them without seeing them and knowing them. And so in Mark, it talks about if you want to receive the kingdom of heaven or kingdom of God, don't get caught up in the language of what that means. But it says if you want to receive this, you have to receive it like a child or you're not going to enter. That's a general paraphrase. And I think that's fascinating because a lot of times that's used on children's sermons of you have to be like children and childlike faith. And I don't think we know what childlike faith means because children are scared and anxious and nervous. And then they're also can turn around and be the most excited, joyful, gleeful things. Then they can be sad, and then they can be this, and they have big questions, and they wonder, and they have all this, but we just expect them to kind of take it and run with it and accept our answers. One of the things that they're doing in the back today is they're being invited to ask every question they can come up with, which is a lot. It's just a lot of questions, just so you know. But what I love about that one line is that it was important enough to acknowledge that the people who have the answer of how to do this Jesus-y thing, this new way of living, were the kids. They were the ones who had the answer. And what's fascinating is they weren't the ones being talked to. They weren't the ones that were receiving sermons or instructions. They weren't the ones that anyone in society was expecting to lead the way. And what I love about this, it's like if you want to understand this Jesus thing, this new way of living, this new way of loving people, understand it like kids do. And sometimes kids are not perfect. We know that. But I tell you, they are way more tolerant and accepting than most adults are. They understand things and are willing to push into the fact that they don't have answers. And if they do have answers, when you give them space to confidently lead into it, it's like world-changing for them. I think there's something really amazing about the fact that they are okay with the unknown, which is fascinating because progressive Christianity should be the space we are totally okay with the unknown. Albert Einstein has this quote that he's attributed to that essentially says that knowledge, like imagination is more important than knowledge, which is, I don't like, to be very honest, because I'm a 4 with a 5 wing, so I want to research all this stuff all the time. And it's like, I will look it up immediately. Give me the answer. Where are they in that city, in that Netflix episode? I need to know all the details and the president and the Capitol and what their flag is. All the time. I'm not joking either. That I need the knowledge. But so he says that imagination is more important than knowledge because knowledge is limited. It's the things we already know. It's the thing that can be overwhelming, and that can be really, really big. And it is absolutely scary because for most of us, we were told we needed to save the world, to save their souls, to get them to a place that you may or may not believe in anymore, to get them to something bigger than themselves. And I wasn't raised in that, but I know enough people who were raised that as a kid, they were taught to save other people, to tell them the good news, because what if you don't? And what if something happens to them? And so I want to tell you, from all the authority I have today, that you do not have to save anyone's soul. And you can let that go. You do not have to hold on to it anymore. And you never were responsible for all of humanity. And I believe that. I believe our job in life is to love others and to be a reflection of love in all the spaces and places that we can, do all the good we can in all the ways we can, by all the means we can, in all the places that we can, which is a very big paraphrase of John Wesley, founder of the Methodist Church. Amen. To do all the things you can in all the ways you can, which means it might have limits for you, and that's okay. There's no guilt or shame. So when we talk about questions, really big, beautiful questions that kid asks, okay? I want to go back to that space. My favorite question I've ever been asked by a kid is if God has a big, colorful mustache. That kid asked a lot of questions. So I did not know where this question was coming from, but they kept asking over and over again about God's mustache. So finally, we asked, what do you mean? And I just gave it like a flippant answer of like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. And what we realized is this kid was claiming the rainbow as God's mustache. And so anytime they saw a rainbow, they immediately connected it to God because it's an arch, like a mustache. And so when we just dismissed this answer, it actually kind of broke the kid a little bit because we were saying this really big, beautiful thing that they were amazed by was no longer connected to God. And so I will forever think about rainbows as God's mustache, which also feels very gay, just to be very honest. I think it's really beautiful. But I've had questions like that over and over from kids because they have the desire to move into something new, to break through and discover something new. Imagination and wonder cannot be something we just sit with and keep it in our heads and think about it. And if you're a person that needs to just sit and think. But some of us, we're ready to do something next. And so holy imagination, this space where we take these things, the knowledge, and we let things stir up inside of us to the point we have to do something. There's this concept called the bystander effect, which is one of my favorite sociological things. This idea that no one is going, like if something's happening, no one is going to do anything. Everyone's going to be the bystander until one person breaks through that moment and crosses in to do something. Then there will normally be a flood of people who help. And I see it happen over and over and over again. And so when I think about the bystander effect, I think about pride a lot. I think about how pride started. this space where Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Riviera, these people who decided that this was enough. And they were not the only ones. There were others. But this one moment at Stonewall where it was enough. We couldn't take it anymore. And like, this has to change. And other people had done stuff. But for them to step up as women of color in this space, in a world that already didn't see them, that still does not see them, and will not see them until we do something about it, decided that we have to do more. And they did. And they received resistance with all the people that were with them. And then we get into these spaces where we have protest after protest for LGBTQAI plus rights, and we're still having to do that. And it started way before Tennessee decided to be dumb in a lot of ways. And these people kept breaking through. That is holy imagination moving into justice. That is a space where you take all the things that you're feeling that are stirring up inside of you and say, I can't do this anymore, and I have to ask the big questions, the wonder moments of what if. What if is not bad? What if is that moment where we break through into justice, where the world changes, where people's lives are actually seen and valued, and not just in the month of June when we say it's Pride. It is a moment in time where it's not just about voting that one time for that one law, for that one thing to happen, and then walk away when it doesn't pass. It's about standing up every single moment and saying, this is the world we want to create. It's a holy imagination. And I call it holy because I think it is something connected to the divine, something big inside of us, because I think we are holy. And so what does that look like for you? What does that look for Grace Point? What does that look like for us as progressive Christians? I don't know. And that is a totally okay answer. It's okay that you don't know what to do next. But I think we have to keep trying, and I think we have to keep thinking, and I think we have to keep wondering, what if? Because I would have hated to think that all the people who've made any justice movement at any point in time in any of history, if they would have just been a bystander, what would have happened? I think someone else at some point would have broken through and done something. But we don't have to wait on those people to do stuff. We can do that. And the best thing about it is you are still not called to save the world. I do not believe that. I do believe we are called to love. And so if you are the person who has the resources and has the means and has the passion to go do the things, go do the things. And if you're the person that's like, I just have one question, and is that, is God real? Cool, stay there. Ask the questions. You are not on this linear journey that takes you to the mountain and brings you right back down. You're in this journey where you get to be where you are, you get to roam where you are, you get to be involved with the world around you. Remember, Jesus did not travel super far. Jesus literally ate with the people he was around. He loved the people he was near. He invited them to something more, and that is literally what we get to do. That is it. Invite people to remember that they were loved in the very beginning. They have always been loved, and reminding them that they are created in love. There is no piece of who you are and who they are that is bad, in my opinion. I think we have made some decisions that are not great. But in all reality, I think that we are created in the image of divine love. And so if nothing else today, I invite you just to love someone else a little bit more than you would before, even if that's yourself. Yeah. And it's going to be okay. And so if you want to be a part of Holy Imagination change, get involved. I don't know what it looks like, but we can talk about it. And if you're the type of person who just needs to sit still, sit still. The best thing about it is that God is with us, God is for us, and God is on our side. And that means always and forever. And so all of the people here, I want you, and online, I want you to say one last thing as the band gets ready to come up here. I want you to take a deep breath first. Relax your shoulders because you are pretty tense. Okay? I want you to know that you're enough, and I'm going to say that to you over and over and over and over again. If you have ever been told you don't belong in the church, please, we are proof that you do. You always have. If you're in a space that is not loving and affirming in person or online, please know that there are spaces, and Grace Point is not the only one, but we are connected to others. If you're in a space where you have other people who are hurting and struggling in any way, shape, or form, reach out, love them, take care of them, and take care of yourself. You are not to save the whole world. You are okay. Do what you can. Love other people in the means that you have. And Pride is going to be an amazing time to celebrate. And so celebrate like crazy. Allies, come come hang out. It's great. It's fun. Thank y'all.
Oh, wow. Amazing, Tiffany. Thank you so much. Wasn't that amazing? Gosh. Something we found out I loved to do. I didn't realize it, but I grew up in church, very religious setting. How many people grew up in church? Yeah. I am someone who loves the old hymns still. Like I love the way it makes me feel. Like I love the nostalgia of hymns. Y'all love hymns still too? So earlier this year, I decided to reclaim. That's a word that we use here a lot. Reimagine, reclaim some old hymns and rewrite some lyrics that make a little more sense for us now, a little more beautiful. No disrespect to the original authors, but I think it fits where we are a little better. So can we stand and sing this one to close the service today? Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, God my Creator. You turn the shadows of night into day. Grace and a love never ending. You formed with purpose and make no mistakes. And great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, your goodness I see. Forever thankful for all you've provided. Great is thy faithfulness always to me.
Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature and manifold witness to your great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, your goodness I see. Forever thankful for all you've provided. Great is thy faithfulness always to me. Oh, great is thy faithfulness, God my provider. You are the source and sustainer of life, justice restoring all manner of evil. Your glory shines when we're fully alive. Let's sing it together. Oh, great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, your goodness I see. Forever thankful for
mercy. Forever thankful for all you've provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Always to me. Amen. Amen. That's beautiful. Grace Point, we're so glad that you joined us today on Affirming Sunday. We hope that you have a great rest of Pride. We will see you back here next week, hopefully 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. We've got some chairs to put up, but we love you. We're proud of you. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Right.